Ukraine has launched mass production of a new interceptor drone called Octopus, a system designed to stop Russia's Shahed attack drones. Defense Minister Denis says the first manufacturers have already received the technology, marking a new step in strengthening Ukraine's air defense capabilities.
Octopus is a Ukrainian Shahed interception technology developed by the armed forces and proven effective in combat. It operates at night, under jamming, and at low altitudes. With this step, we are launching the interceptors into mass production so they can reinforce Ukraine's air defense as soon as possible. The Ministry of Defense continues its policy of open cooperation with Ukrainian manufacturers, creating conditions for a rapid transition from innovation to serial combat solutions that strengthen Ukraine's defensive capabilities.
Earlier, Ukraine's defense minister said the country is moving toward producing up to 1,000 interceptor drones a day, a direct response to Russia's ongoing nighttime attacks. The Octopus is a small Ukrainian interceptor drone engineered to track and destroy one-way attack drones like the Shaheds. The system has already proven effective on the battlefield and had become the foundation for a new international industrial program aimed at mass production. North Korea has sharply reduced its supply of artillery munition to Russia after effectively running out of stock. At the same time, Pyongyang has ramped up mass production of FPV drones and larger attack drones. That's according to Vadim Skibitsky, deputy head of Ukraine's military intelligence, who spoke in an interview with Reuters. Skibitsky says that in 2024, millions of shells from North Korea helped Russia sustain its artillery fire on the front lines. But this year, those deliveries have dropped by more than a half. According to him, since 2023, Pyongyang has shipped around 6.5 million artillery shells to Moscow. In September, intelligence recorded no deliveries at all, and the part of the ammunition sent in October was so old that Russia had to send it straight to factories for reimbursement. Skibitsky also said that North Korea has begun serial productions of FPV drones and medium-large drones. Pyongyang has not disclosed the scale of the program, but he noted the country is studying lessons from the war to expand its own manufacturing capacity. Reuters adds that last year, thousands of North Korean troops fought alongside Russian forces in Russia's Kursk region. North Korea officially acknowledged its involvement, claiming it is helping preserve peace against Western aggression, but provides no further details. US President Donald Trump says the United States may conduct nuclear weapons tests fairly soon, even as Washington continues to publicly support global denuclearization. Speaking to reporters, Trump was asked whether he has held any meetings related to concerns or potential nuclear testing.
We're going to have nuclear testing because other people test. We have other countries that test. We have more nuclear weapons than any other country. I'm the one that renovated them and built some, and I hated to do it, but I had no choice because they have it. We have more. Russia's second, and China is a distant third, but within 4 or 5 years, they're going to be up with us. What I would like to do is I would like to go denuclearization. In other words, where we have a meeting primarily of the top 3 to cut back on nuclear weapons. That would be a great thing.
Pressed on the timing, Trump simply said the test could happen soon enough. At the same time, CNN reports that senior energy officials are preparing to meet with the White House and the National Security Council in an effort to steer the president away from resuming nuclear testing. A CNN source says that at the upcoming White House meeting, officials from the National Nuclear Security Administration and the Department of Energy plan to make clear that no tests involving the detonation of nuclear materials will take place. They will also push the administration to adopt an alternative plan that does not involve explosions, the sources added. Officials hope that this will give President Trump a way to follow the recommendations of the U.S. Nuclear Safety Agency. However, CNN notes that the president ultimately has the authority to order a nuclear test regardless of the expert advice. Russian forces have advanced in Pokrovsk and Mirnograd in Donetsk region. According to a November 14th analysis by the Institute for the Study of War, the Russian military command appears to be prioritizing the capture of Pokrovsk over efforts to encircle the Pokrovsk-Mirnograd area. Geolocation footage from November 13th and 14th show Russian forces advancing north and east of Pokrovsk as well as south of Mirnograd. Published footage also shows that Russian forces have recently pushed into the southeastern part of Pokrovsk. However, the city remains contested, with Ukrainian forces continued to hold positions. Online footage shows Ukrainian troops either holding or advancing in the north of Pokrovsk, where Russian units are also present. Russian war correspondent acknowledged that the occupiers do not fully control the city and that fighting continues in the north and east. Analysts also report that Russian forces are marking advances in the outskirts of Pokrovsk, including the Boykivka area, and have captured Novotoritsk. Ukrainian troops continue operations aimed at preventing Russian advances on the northern flank of the encirclement, while pro-Moscow war correspondents claim Ukrainian forces are mounting counterattacks near Rodinsk. Analysts say Russia's recent push in Pokrovsk and surrounding areas suggests the military is prioritizing the capture of the town over fully encircling the Pokrovsk-Mirnograd area from the north and northeast. The Institute for the Study of War notes that taking Pokrovsk may serve several purposes for Russia, including information gains and facilitating future efforts to close the encirclement. Ukrainian counterattacks on the northern flank and the continued presence of Ukrainian forces in Pokrovsk complicate Russian advances and their ability to encircle the area, but the reports stress this alone is not enough to divert Russian command from operations in the south. The Saratov oil refinery has halted operations following Ukrainian drone strikes. The refinery, owned by Rosneft, stopped crude oil processing on November 11th, Reuters reports, citing sources. Officials say the plant will not work until the end of November. Social media footage shows a large tank on fire, and sources suggest that the refinery's main crude distillation unit, CDU-6, may have been damaged. This unit has a daily capacity of around 20,000 tons or 147,000 barrels of oil. In 2024, the Saratov refinery processed 5.8 million tons of crude, about 2.2% of Russia's total oil refining, producing 1.9 million tons of diesel, 1.2 million tons of petrol, and 1 million tons of fuel oil. Meanwhile, Ryazan was hit by drone attacks overnight. Russian media and local residents reported dozens of explosions near the refinery, later confirmed by the regional governor, Pavel Malkov, who said a fire broke out at one of the facilities. Andriy Kolenko, head of Ukraine's Center for Countering Disinformation at the National Security and Defense Council, also confirmed that the Ryazan oil refinery was targeted. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave your comments below.